Don't go to McDonald's this Friday. That's the call from a union after the fast food company walked out of pay negotiations. It's the latest hurdle for campaigners who are aiming to scrap the use of so-called zero-hour contracts, where workers are left without reliable regular shifts. Joining us this morning is the National Director of Unite Union, Mike Treen, who's been leading the negotiations until they suddenly stalled yesterday. It seemed, though, Mike, like they were progressing well. What happened?
Well, the company did come back with an offer that was halfway there. They talked about guaranteed hours for hours worked, which is important because it was a shift from their previous position about rostered hours, which we can't monitor or enforce or so on. So hours worked was important, but they had nothing, they couldn't respond or ask about the secure and regular shifts issue. So there's always been two elements to the claim. One is a sort of a guarantee of hours, but then is a security of the shift. So you know what you're going to be working from week to week. And so they thought that simply dealing with the issue of hours would be all that we would need to discuss yesterday. And when we said, no, we need to discuss this as well, which the other companies also recognised and addressed when they came to us with their offers. So Burger King have offered secure shifts as well as secure hours. Restaurant brands have offered to trial secure shifts at different stores with the union. But McDonald's just had no opinion or didn't appear to have any thought given to this subject. And then when we queried it, said we needed more, they got a huff. You know, it was as if they were expecting us to suddenly sort of roll over and say, tickle our belly, just because they've made address one part of the issue. And it's not good enough. That's not bargaining. I think we could have reached an agreement yesterday.
Because McDonald's isn't here on our show, I'm going to read you what they said. They said, we question their commitment, as in Unite's commitment, to the bargaining process, particularly in view of the Industrial Action Plan advance for Friday. Unite need to stop making excuses and negotiate in good faith. We remain committed to reach an agreement. So really it's coming down to, as you say, this difference between secure hours and secure shifts and the balance that has to be reached in that process.
Yes, we think there's two parts to definitely two parts to it. People want to know what they're going to be working from week to week. It's not just that they want to know that they're going to get 80% of their hours that they normally work, but they want to know when they're going to be working. And if you don't know that going forward, you can't plan your life.
And given that restaurant brands could come to the party, does it sort of baffle you that McDonald's walked out and said we can't even go there?
Well, they've been playing a game with this negotiation, in my view. That we've had twice as many days negotiating with them as with the other companies. They're the last to the table in terms of a meaningful offer, and they've refused to pay a pay increase for union members, while giving pay increases to non-union staff to undermine the union. I think they're
so
trying
effectively punishing union staff.
Yes.
And that was in fact one of the other issues, isn't it? The fact that you can't advertise on notice boards to join a union, and that can't be made public.
Yes, this is the 21st century, and people should have a clear choice to join the union and the collective agreement when they join the company, or join the individual employment agreement. And McDonald's doesn't allow that, and they won't allow us to put notices on the notice board without them censoring it beforehand. Well, this is nuts, and I think they need to grow up and start treating the union and workers who are members of the union with respect.
So what's the next step, Mike? Obviously, you both, know yesterday's negotiations went nowhere, so you're looking towards Friday as a boycott.
Yes. We're a minority. We accept that fact. We're a minority in this company. 80% of the stores are owned by franchisees, and they treat someone joining the union like it's a personal betrayal. So it's very difficult for people to join the union, for people to take action. And because of the 0 hours regime, if they take action, they can have their hours cut. So that's a sort of a double whammy. So we're asking the public to say, well, we're not going to go and shop at this store. There's plenty of others who are doing deals. Burger King's doing a deal with us on this issue. Restaurant Brands have done a deal. Carl's Jr. is there. They can, you can go there. Just give Macca's a miss on May 1st, because it's actually International Workers' Day as well. So show a bit of solidarity for these very young and often young and vulnerable workers.
So a symbolic day to have it.
Yes.
The fact that you did make so much traction and progress and found a solution with Restaurant Brands, does that give you any hope that perhaps you can get there with McDonald's as well?
We will get there with McDonald's. We told them at the beginning of in fact, we told them 2 years ago that this was going to be the critical issue for this year's negotiation. We will get there this year. They will. The people of New Zealand will make them deal with us, I think, in a responsible way.
Yeah, well, we're certainly on side, Mike, so thanks for coming on to
very
talk to us this morning. Best of luck for the next time you're around the table. Hopefully it goes better than yesterday. Mike Treen from Unite Union.
And as Mike said, you don't have to miss out on your fast food because, you know, all kudos to your Restaurant Brands, your Pizza Huts and things, and Burger Kings for ditching the 0 hours.